Welcome to Birmingham and to the IAAF EDF Energy World Half Marathon Championships. Well, it's the 18th championship. Once again, the support for the event is impressive. 39 nations are taking part. Well, I said welcome to Birmingham. What about Birmingham? It's a worthy host of these championships, incidentally. It's a regional capital of the West Midlands and the second largest city in the United Kingdom. Population about 1 million. Developed into a national commercial centre these days, a big change from when it played a significant role in England's Industrial Revolution. It's a centre of tourism and, of course, sport, having hosted in recent years the World Indoor Athletics Championships and the European Indoor Athletics Championships. The course starts on Cambridge Street near Paradise Forum here. The route continues along a short, sharp descent down the hill before making its way to the market area of the city. It then turns into Pershaw Road, heading towards a lap of Cannon Hill Park. We can see the weather conditions at the moment. It's 8:45, 11 degrees centigrade. It has been splattering with rain. The cloud cover is pretty high though at this stage. It's a very windy course. And I mentioned Cannon Hill Park, and there it is. It's absolutely beautiful in this park. The route goes through the park, and that park is at around about 5 kilometres, just beyond the 3-mile mark. Leaves the park, continues along Pershaw Road, ends up in Bourneville and Selly Oak before rejoining the Pershaw Road, heading back towards the city. The race continues into Hinckley Street, turning into Hill Street. It's a sharp incline. Navigation Street, Holiday Street, Granville Street, back to Centenary Square. Well, as we come up to the start of the women's race, we really do have to look to the Kenyan side, headed by Katani, fastest in the world this year, 67 minutes, set that in Lille in France in September. She leads a very, very strong team. And we mustn't forget the Ethiopians. They are the defending champions here. They've got youth and experience in their team. And of course, as far as Europe is concerned, I suppose the Russians, we must mention them. They've got 1 or 2 world-class athletes here who may feature.
So away they go. Let's give them a great send-off.
So it'll be an interesting start to this race indeed. But as they get away, let me just say to you that the story of the women's event is so different from the men's. The European athletes have won the event 9 times, the last time in 2005, which was for Romania. The winner on that occasion, the Olympic champion, of course, from Beijing last year, Konstantina Dita. And Africa have won the last 2. Ethiopia are the defending champions. It was a bit of a surprise win, that. But Lorna Kiplagat, the former Kenyan representing the Netherlands, well, she's won the last 3 championships, and she has a significant knee injury and doesn't go. And Paula Radcliffe with that tonsillitis, such a disappointment for her. She's a 3-time winner too, last win back in 2003. And then Mary Kipkosgei Katani of Kenya, the fastest in the field, and you can see now that the Kenyans are really taking this on right from the start. It's going to be one of those races where we're going to see this downhill part mark at the beginning is very, very fast indeed, but the course itself has got an awful lot of bends and twists, particularly a little bit later on when they go through the parks and then back out down Pershaw Road.
Yes, the technical delegate yesterday said he thought this was a course where fast times could be run. And in the lead at the moment is Caroline Cheptanui-Kalel of Kenya. Seems to be wishing to set a fast pace. She's wearing the red shoes, and the yellow shoes to her one side is Mary Katani, who's the race favourite.
Yes, it will be very much a team effort, and all of a sudden Africa, the defending champions in the green and the red, the fastest team in the field on the right, and already there's a little bit of a gap opening up here. Smith of New Zealand, as always, making a real commitment to stay with them. But look at this, Mark. I mean, this is, I suppose, going pretty well with the form book. But certainly Africa, and there's a gap now of 10 metres or so, and the 2 teams that we expected to be featuring, of course, are featuring at the moment. It's early days indeed. There's the Russian that we featured earlier on, just at the back of that leading group. But this leading group is absolutely flying.
And in the chasing group there, we saw Amy Yoda Begley, who's possibly going to be the top American with the Olympic rings tattoo on her leg, not going off quite as quickly as the Kenyans and Ethiopians. And I think there's an Eritrean there at the back of the pack, or the Eritrean.
Yes, it's interesting that the Eritreans they've got one competitor in this race, whereas the men have got a full team. It's the first three to score, and it's not the positions that count. They add the times together, and it is the lowest time that actually scores. Katani, the slighter figure on the right of the shot. Tufa is the leading Ethiopian on the left, and Tufa, a very experienced athlete indeed, as you can see. Hillel, well, it looks as though they're going out for the team race, that's for sure. I mean, there are two teams here. They'll have sized each other up, and they will have really gone for this. Gelan of Ethiopia, the tall figure towards the back of that Ethiopian pack at the front. But the course evens out, but then eventually there'll be some very, very tight bends, and that may well take its toll. This pace is relentless. Sub 65-minute running is world record pace. It's difficult to say world record, world best, because the courses are so different. And look at Katani, she's saying, come on, take a bit of a lead to Kebede. She's saying, I've led all the way, come on, do your bit. And I'm not sure that's going to happen. I don't know whether they know each other, but certainly Katani was asking there for it to come through.
And how many times have we seen that before, a Kenyan being tracked by an Ethiopian in a long-distance race?
Yeah, time and time again. This is Cannon Hill Park. The tight turns that they're now undergoing, I wonder what that will do to the overall times here, but with two out on their own, I guess the tight entrances that we saw yesterday when we went round the course won't affect them too much at this stage. The 5 kilometre split told us that they were inside 65-minute pace, which is the fastest we've ever seen. If they keep this going, we'll get another check on 10 kilometres, which will be down towards Bourneville, where there's another very tight turn, and that will be at mile 6 or thereabouts. It's just about 9,600 meters, in fact. But this is the group that is following, and remember, just to remind you, the first 3 times added together, lowest time, will give the team championship. Wonderful shots, these.
I don't think we should get too excited about the pace, given that a lot of the race so far has been downhill, and that certainly the 10 kilometre point to which you're referring to, Stuart, comes during quite a punishing hill, which is yet to come.
Just looking at the relentless pace being set by these two athletes. They have a fair uphill piece to go, and remember the start is downhill, so that was pretty emphatic. Look, Katani's moving to the side and says, right, now it's your turn to have a go. And Kebede does just that, and then drops back again into the slipstream of the Kenyan. Deep in concentration, Katani. Taller figure of the Ethiopian Kebede. just sorry, Mark, just sitting there, isn't she? I mean, and Keitany was saying, come on, do some work. A little glance over the shoulder. Now, is that a telling glance over the shoulder from Keitany, from the Kebede? Just a little glance behind, just to check where the rest were, and I guess they're about 100 yards behind, 100 meters behind, as you can see. That's not quite clear from that picture, but they are well lost at the moment. 7 kilometers gone, roughly 21:26. We'll just see what sort of time. 64:39 that comes up onto our chart, so they're well inside 65-minute pace still. So that is astonishing at the moment, if they can keep this going.
Well, I'm fairly sure they are slowing, and perhaps that's why Kebede was looking round, because she realised the pace wasn't being kept up by Keitany, hence her wish for Kebede to take the lead, and she was looking back to see if that gap was closing. Now, it was around 100 metres at 5k, with a further similar distance to the best of the chasers, which included Amy Yoga Bedley of the United States.
So each of these teams will be looking for 2 more athletes. Kenya have won this event several times before. They won the previous 2 years, if I remember correctly. The world best is 66 minutes and 25 seconds, Lorna Kiplagat, and that was in 2007. And that's a better look at the margin between them. It is a good 100 meters or so, isn't it, between the leading pair. And I can't see them faltering here. They are too far out. But they've left a world-class field way behind. It may well be a little bit of a drop-off pace there. It's difficult to tell, but we will certainly, when we get if we get another kilometre marker, we'll be able to give you a better indication. And Keitany is saying, come on, Kebede, let's get in here and do some work, because that may well be the difference at the end. Although Kebede is saying, or is she saying, come alongside, let's run together? I don't know. There are 1 or 2 messages not being adhered to. But I mean, the speed they're going at is quite incredible, quite incredible.
It looked there as if she was saying, you're getting too close to me. We've seen that before, certainly for Barhane Adiri. Is she clipping her heels?
Well, I think they are running side by side now. Unless she does that, then Keitany starts to move away again. It's quite interesting the way this race is beginning to unfold, isn't it?
Incidentally, Stuart, Keitany was one of the athletes involved in the incident yesterday before the press conference, where unfortunately she got stuck in a lift for about 50 minutes, along with 8 other people. And unfortunately she wasn't able to attend the press conference after that, quite understandably.
8 kilometres they've just gone through there, Mark. Just looking at it's still very fast. We'll just it has slowed down now, and we expected perhaps that it's just under 66 now, 65.50 approximately at that last kilometre mark.
So we can see the people behind.
And I just wonder whether this will be down to a sprint finish, or whether one of these two will really try to sort of get away. But the 8 kilometre mark, this is quite a long stretch down Pershaw Road, incidentally, the A441, heading down towards Bourneville, and in the region of, or towards the region of Cotteridge, and they're through 5 miles, and heading towards 6 miles now, beyond 9 kilometres. We'll give you another rundown in a moment, but there certainly has been a drop-off in pace, and I think that was noticeable. This slightly downhill part here may well give them a chance to move away again against the clock. Well, we're heading now back to the start, where we've got, of course, the men's race about to begin. Well, as far as the men's race is concerned, I guess we've got to look to the Kenyan team as a team, because they've got 5 men under 59 minutes, and really it is a very strong side. I wonder whether they will challenge those Zezene Tadesse of Eritrea, who is going for his 4th consecutive title here in these World Half Marathon Championships. Can't discount once again Ethiopia, and it looks as though once again it'll be an all-African affair. Well, the evidence of the women's race thus far is that it's pretty quick all round, certainly in the early stages, but certainly let me just tell you that Africa have dominated the men's event over the years with 15 wins. Only 2 European winners over the years: Vincent Rousseau of Belgium back in 1993, and then Stefano Boldini of Italy in 1996, the former Olympic marathon champion. The team race has gone to Africa 16 times, with Kenya winning 8, and they're going for their 4th team win in a row here in Birmingham. Italy, the only European team winners, back in 1996. Zezene Tadesse of Eritrea, as I've just said, goes again, looking to become the first athlete to win 4 consecutive times in this World Championship. He faces tough Kenyan opposition. 4 have run under 60 minutes this year, and of the 4, 2 have run sub 59. De Silva, the man who's going out early, and it looks to me as though just attempting to feature in the early stages of this race. There are 34 men's teams. The world best 58.33, and that was Wanjuri of Kenya a couple of seasons ago. Oh, now we've got a break. Katani is just beginning to move away from Kebede, and that is significant now. So on paper, Katani was the number 1, and all of a sudden Kebede has dropped off the back, and there's a freedom of running that Katani has not had right the way through. The Ethiopian has stuck to her like glue all the way. They're 30 seconds ahead of the second major group, the 3rd group if you include Kebede as being the 2nd group now. But there they are, Ongori, Aruse and Kilel. So Kenya, as expected, in the driving seat as far as the team event is concerned. And this is the most emphatic piece of running we've seen this season over the half marathon. There was a little bit of a drop-off when we last joined this race, but all of a sudden there's a new lease of life now in the legs of Katani, because she knows now that she's dropped her main opponent.
And it was the hill that did it, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right, Mark. But one woman dominating this race. She's just run away from the world's best by not just a small margin, by a significant margin. Well, the men, we don't expect that to sort out for some time, but we would expect once again. There are a couple, I just see from this helicopter shot, there are 2 away. The Zambian there, and Mashil will sort out his credentials in a moment. That looks like Banda. It's not Banda, is it? Mashai on the left. It's Mashai. But De Silva of Brazil, and the rest just closing down. There's nothing in it. It's early days yet. See a couple of Brazilians up in that leading group. The Kenyans are all there. But certainly In terms of the early lead, I don't think it's too significant at the moment. Masali on the left of the shot, the Zambian, alongside De Silva, but the rest just hanging in behind them, and they'll be swallowed up. The Eritrean Tadesse is on the right on the curve, just as on the right hand side, in the leading row of athletes behind the two leaders, and he'll be very content to sit there. Such an experienced athlete, and I made the point that he's been so successful on the country. I'm a world cross-country champion, of course, in Mombasa, and he did so well in the World Athletics Championships in 10,000 meters, and of course on the roads he's going for his 4th consecutive win here, and he is the man who will challenge the Kenyans, who, when you look at their team, with only 3 to count, with 4 if not 5 under 69 minutes, under 59 minutes I should say, it is quite an incredible team, and one would expect them to feature eventually, but clearly this is not the same tenor of race as we've seen in the women's event just a little bit earlier, and they are being swallowed up as we expected. Tadesse on the inside, just happy to sit there. These are the early days. I would expect the first kilometre to be quick. There is a significant downhill part to it. Then we'll see how it unfolds.
A bit of collision there between the Eritreans.
Yes, the Eritreans getting each other's way at the beginning. So, De Silva still leading. The Brazilian. And they are beginning to spread out just a little bit at the moment. And we shall see, I would think, a group of athletes beginning to break away from this leading group. Katani then, a little look. Average kilometre 3:06. Well, if her average is 3:06, then that's inside 66 minutes. That certainly is.
And she went through 10 kilometres in 31:05. That's quicker than Paula Radcliffe when she went through that point, when she set the world best time, as opposed to the world record. World best time set on an unaided course of 65 minutes 40 in 2003. So it looks like she's won the race.
But there are the team positions, Mark, just interrupting you for a moment, on the screen at the moment, with Kenya, Ethiopia, Japan and the United States as they line up.
Looks like quite a close battle then between Japan and the United States for the bronze medal. But the further away Kaitani pulls from Kabeda, the bigger that gap is for the Kenyan team as a whole.
Well, De Silva, the leader there, the distinguished Brazilian, is Dos Santos. I think is that Dos Santos on the right? I think it is. Yes, it is. On the right in the blue and yellow strip, he's the second of the Brazilians there. He's been 7th and 8th in the last 2 championships. And all of a sudden the pace is being pushed along very, very strongly indeed. I mean, this Kenyan quartet of Chebet, Kimutai, Kiprotich, Kipyego and Kitwara is very, very strong indeed. And one would expect 3 kilometres gone in 8:37. Well, that's very, very quick indeed. That's well inside 58 minutes. It's 60 minutes, is it? 60 minutes, 60 minutes.
So not quite as frantic as the women's start, as you said, Stuart.
Yes, just looking down at the chart. That's right. It's just around about 60 minutes. Just coming down to Bourneville and the big turnaround as they go back with 39 minutes gone, as you can see on the clock, and all of a sudden it is a lonely run by the Kenyan. This downhill, as you can see by the tenor of this, the athlete Kebede, who's in second place at the moment. I mean, that's a big gap opened up all of a sudden here. Okoteni is looking very comfortable indeed, and I think she'll have got another lease of life once Kebede had gone, because Kebede was really pushing along. Now the Kenyan, this is the Kenyan team which is going to take the team title most definitely here, with just looking at I can see
and Penina Aruse, she slipped on the turn there.
Oh, that's a Russi. That's a shame. It is damp underfoot. Yeah, it was Penina Rusai. Let's have a look again at this. Oh, that's a bad fall. That's a very bad fall. I don't know whether she trod on the line, the yellow line, the paint, and I hope someone comes along to assist her soon, because she must be cut. That was a very bad fall indeed. It won't affect the team, I don't think, because there were 3 of them up there already. So the Kenyans still in good order. You notice there were 3 Kenyans going around that corner, so 2 were left. So there are 3 in the first 4. So the team event is theirs, assuming that nothing else untoward happens. Now then, here's the first break, and Ritzenheim's gone with them. This is Eritrean. And this is the hill, and this is the part at which Katani got away from Kebede. Well, Tadesse there, Ritzenheim is there. Segai of Ethiopia also there. Haven't got a performance for half marathon for him. He's at 64 minutes at half marathon. There it is, 28:30 at 10k. So Mark will work that out for us. Just outside 60 minutes, isn't it? So it's just outside the 1 hour.
And you're right, we haven't got a performance for Segai, but there is one interesting statistic about him. He is a training partner of Tadesse, so that speaks for itself really, if he can run with that sort of level of competitor.
Well, this is a real attack by the United States on Africa, but Africa has dominated the women's race. And there she is. Totally and utterly a lonely vigil in this race. A long time. She had a wonderful battle with Kebede of Ethiopia, who's a 68.43 athlete, and she tried to stay with Katani, but in the end it was down to a very talented athlete who came here with the best time of 67 minutes. She's obviously slowed down now, as you can see, but it's still a very fine performance. Well, the watch is there, she knows what she's doing. She knows what sort of time. Now then, Tadesse. Tadesse is leading. Is that Segai in second place? Then Ritzenheim in third place. So Eritrea and the Kenyans. There are a couple of Kenyans dropping off the back of that group there, although there are 3 Kenyans in that group. So there's 1 Eritrean missing as far as the team event is concerned. They need 3. And I think I can see one in the background. I think I can see an Eritrean vest, but oh, it may not be. But certainly Tadesse has really put down the pedal. There it is, the team at 10k. Kenya, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Africa through and through, as it's been in the men's events over the years. Only 1 European team has ever won this, the Italians, back in the early days. Well, the three broken away now, but the Kenyans have got 3 men in that leading group. It's going to be very, very close indeed. And here goes Tedeschi away. Ritzenheim in 3rd place. Segai in 2nd place. 11 kilometers gone. 3rd place in the women's race. Ongori. 2nd place right in the middle. I'm just looking to see how 2nd and 3rd are faring actually at the moment. But Ongori looks as though she was catching Kebede, and I thought there might be a chance of that happening actually, because Kebede was really all of a sudden dropped off, and from what, 5 seconds, 10 seconds to 40 seconds below, a bit behind. Oh, and there it is. You can see that there is a closing down, and that's going to mean that Ongori of Kenya, I think, will catch 8th place in the World 10,000 in 2007, just to give you one statistic of her, and she's coming up to the shoulder of Kebede now, so it's going to be Kenya 1 and 2 shortly. Just sitting in there for the moment, but the early pace that Aberu Kebede of Ethiopia ran, trying to stay with Katani, is really taking its toll. There it is, 2nd place and 3rd place changing. Ongori now moves into 2nd, Kebede in 3rd. But this is the final stages now for Katani, and it is a wonderful run, it really is. It's a very difficult part, this. 20 kilometers gone, 62.59.
62.59, she's just 2 seconds outside the official world record there, so she's 2 seconds behind the pace that Lorna Kiplagat set when she broke the world record. She might just miss it.
Yeah, and she probably won't know it's that close, but certainly in the final stages of this race, she's beginning to grimace just a little bit. I'm not surprised with the 2/3 of the race. She was really powering along and well inside world record pace. Remember, 64.5 minutes at one stage, which was quite incredible. And that's the sort of pace that Kebede, she was running 4 minutes inside herself, inside her personal best. That's where she was taken apart, really. And now, of course, Ongori has moved into 2nd place, but it's a long, long way behind. Katani down that downhill part under the road and out. And oh, look at this, a fight back for Kebede. We've got a real battle on for 2nd place. Kebede's now moved back into 2nd place. Ongori of Kenya in 3rd place now. So we've got a real race on for 2nd and 3rd. And Kebede, a new lease of life as soon as Ongori came up onto her shoulder. But this uphill piece here may well be the reason that the record is lost, but we'll see. Absolutely a wonderful piece of demonstration here in this 18th World Half Marathon Championship. Brilliant, brilliant run by Mary Katani of Kenya. She's their record holder. She is a prolific runner. And I just wonder, she's, how old is she? 27 now. Looking very, very tired now, and I am not surprised. It was a very, very strange race early on, where the group of Kenyans and the Ethiopians moved away. But this is the 2nd and 3rd battle, and it's Ongori now is about 5 or 6 meters behind Kebede. And so it looks as though Kebede had another lease of life. But look at this, receiving the applause of the crowd. You can see it's just beginning to rain. It's been raining for some time, coming down towards the finish now. And it's going to be very, very quick indeed. 65, 37, 38, watch the clock. Remember, well inside 65 minutes at one stage in this race. The tight turns and the loneliness of running and the speed of that early pace. The world record 66 minutes and 25. 66.25 is the target that she's looking for. You heard a cry of 200 yards to go, and look at the clock. She's going to be very, very close indeed to that world best. 14, 15, she's got 10 seconds to get through that tape. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, she's just going to miss it. She's just going to miss it. There's the title. She's going to miss it by just a few seconds. But that, an absolutely superb performance. It's still brilliant. Brilliant performance. Brilliant performance. So close to the fastest in the world, and it may have been just a little bit too quick in the early stages. It's certainly the first third of the race where she was well under 65-minute pace, but that's brilliant. Now then, here we go. It's going to be a sprint finish between Ongori on the left and Kebede. Kebede and Ongori, look at the teeth being gritted here. There's a real battle on who's got the finish. After 21 kilometers, 13.1 miles, who will prevail? Who will come second? Ongori of Kenya versus Kebede of Ethiopia, the Ethiopian green vest. And I think there's still more left in the tank as far as the Ethiopian's concerned, and she's coming past again. That's a brilliant finish. Look at this. Has Ongori finished, or will she come back? It's going to be Ongori, and well, Ongori comes back. It's one way, then the other, and I think Ongori's got it. Ongori gets second. She wins the battle. In third place is Kebede. What a good race indeed. Ongori prevailed in the end, but that was a brilliant, brilliant race for the second and third place. Cheptanui coming in to take the fourth and the team title. And that is absolutely superb. Brilliant, brilliant race for the women. It really was. Oh, Tedessa's away, and Ritzenheim in second place. So it's the American between the two Eritreans, and that is a very big break indeed. Wow. And all of a sudden, no Kenyan in sight. Who would have thought that? But remember, it's 3 to count. There's 1 Eritrean missing. There are 2 Americans missing. I would think that all the Kenyans are in the background, and if they've got 3 there, well, that's going to be enough, I think. I don't think there's an Eritrean close enough, but this could be, and looks as though it's going to be, a moment of athletics history. It's early days, but this is a big, big break, and this is a man who knows what he's doing. He knows. He sat there early on, and all of a sudden he's built it and built it and built it. There was nothing early. He let the Brazilians go away, and Da Silva and Dos Santos, he let them lead. He then slowly built up, and of course the Kenyans, who promised so much here. Kitwara nowhere to be seen. I think he may well be about 100 meters behind here. He's the man unbeaten, but today he's come up against a man who is so experienced and desperately wanted this 4th title, because no one else has done it. No one else. Well, let's just confirm the women's result now. Fine performance by Katani. A 66.36, a championship record, a Kenyan record just outside the world record. Ongori of Kenya in second, Kebede of Ethiopia in third place. Well, there's the team standing as far as the women are concerned. A win for Kenya, 3:22.30. Ethiopia in second place, and Russia, the European side, coming through into third. There's a real battle on for these places in this men's race. You've seen that. Segai will have taken up the challenge. He was caught by Kipyego. He could have allowed him to get away, but he didn't. He fought on, and I have to say there's a great deal of character being shown here by the American. Ritzenheim, he's sitting in there, not letting him go. Looks fairly comfortable. Difficult to tell. This is just an unbelievable run by Ritzenheim, really. Tsegay, Kipyego. Kipyego now moving away. Now this is a significant part of the race, really, because this is where the places are going to be sorted out. I know that Ritzenheim's got to finish, and I just wonder how good that's going to be against these very good Kenyan and an Eritrean. Still looks good. Kipyego, remember, one place between them in that 10,000. They know each other, they know what each other can do.
And Ritzenheim was one of those unfortunate athletes that was stuck in a lift for an hour yesterday, but he took it all in good humour. The only problem was, obviously, we didn't have a chance to speak to him at the press conference, but he's been threatening to run well at a longer distance like this ever since that Zurich 5,000 metres breakthrough when he broke the North American record for that distance.
But well, it's Eritrea 1 and 2 at the moment, Kenya 3, USA 4, Kenya 5. The rest not in the picture. There may well be, and I'd have a feeling there's a third Kenyan lurking around that corner we just had a brief glimpse of. It was given the team title, remember, 3 to score. Times added together, not places. Well, there's the man leading. Zezene Tadesse of Eritrea, the defending champion, won it 3 times. I'll say it again because this could be and will be, I would think, a moment of athletics history. Third in the world cross country. Look at the time, 54, and there's the mile marker. I would think that's the 12-mile marker, I would think.
Well, he's operating at about 59 minutes 30 pace. He seems to be getting quicker, and this guy is a huge star in his country, Eritrea, and when he says when he runs with the whole of Eritrea with him, and they will be absolutely thrilled, not only with him so far in front, but also Tsegay, his training partner, in second place, and Eritrea right up there with the team medals.
Well, look at this. Tsegay's getting away. Kiprot's now in third place. Ritzenheim in fourth place. Kiprotich in fifth, and it's all of a sudden it's a break, and Tsegay, a new lease of life towards the final stages. But is Ritzenheim finished? Is Kiprot finished? Have they got a sprint finish towards the final stages? There's a gap of about 20 meters now. It's Eritrea 1 and 2. Kenya, who came here as the favourites, may well win the team, but my goodness me, their top man has been beaten here today, Kitwara. So, Ritzenheim now moving into third place. He's on the rostrum if he can hold this. Final stages now, and he's determined to get onto the rostrum. Tsegay is away in second place. Ritzenheim third, Kiprot fourth. Now then, what's Kipyego, I should say? What's Kipyego got? Who's got the finish?
3 minutes from seeing the race leader come into the finishing straight.
Got about 3 minutes of running to go, I would think, and Tadesse looking very, very strong. 20 kilometers, 56.24. 56.24, so 1 kilometer to go, 1,000 meters. He's well into that 1,000 meters now. So watch the clock ticking down. Let's just catch up on second place if we can in a moment. That's Tsegay. He's 20 seconds down now. Now let's get a clue as to where Kipyego 24 and Ritzenheim 25. That may not be the case. They're always slightly out of date. Kiprotich is the fifth placer, 29 seconds down.
So Tadesse's gone 14.27, 14.03, 13.50 and 14.04 for the 4 5K sections so far. He broke them with that third 5K section between 10 and 15.
Yep, he did indeed. Oh, look at this. This is a very, very good battle, and I just wonder, this is for second and third, and there are 3 for 2 places. Ritzenheim now moving up on Segei again as they go under the bridge. Ritzenheim moves very, very quickly into second place again. As they come out of the tunnel, let's see who's prevailing at the moment. Ritzenheim it is. He's getting away. He's coming up the hill now. This is where, look at the grimace on his face. Watch this man. He really has a finish. But has he got a good enough finish? Segei, I think, is spent. He tried to go too early, couldn't sustain it. And now it looks to me Ritzenheim is coming into second place. Can he hold off Kipyego? Kipyego sitting in there comfortably at the moment, but Tedesser, of course, is the man. This is for second and third. That's where the real race is. Tedesser, and he's so far ahead of the rest of the field. It's going to be a fourth win, a fourth consecutive win, a piece of history in athletics. Brilliant, brilliant stuff at the moment. The battle for second and third, and there's going to be a medal for Ritzenheim, but what colour is it? Kipyego, these two in sprinting mode at the moment. Kipyego digging in deep. Tedesser heading towards the finish. All the way now, this man. A brilliant, brilliant demonstration as the second and third places come round into the home straight. And a big smile all of a sudden on the face of the man who defends his title. 4 consecutive World Half Marathon titles to Zezene Tadesse of Eritrea. Brilliant, brilliant tactician here. He controlled the race, sat in early on, controlled it, and then, when it mattered, ran away with it. Put down the pedal, slowly moved away, and then introduced a pace with which the others couldn't cope. So, 4th consecutive win then for Zezene Tadesse of Eritrea, and this battle for the silver medal for second place. Kipyego, I think, is going to take it. Kipyego's going to take second place, and Ritzenheim third. Kipyego, there's not far enough to go. Kipyego comes through, Ritzenheim behind him. Kipyego is second, Ritzenheim is third, the first American on the rostrum. Brilliant run once again, just as he ran in Zurich. Another brilliant run. Absolutely superb. Now Kiprotich and the other Kenyans coming through. Mark, what a race that was. Absolute beautiful race.
And the Americans will be thrilled at Dathan Ritzenheim's bronze medal. The first ever medal won in the World Half Marathon Championships by an athlete from the United States.
But Africa once again dominate in terms of winning these races. Tadesse has got his support here. And it really was a brilliant, brilliant run indeed. Kipyego just had the legs on Ritzenheim for the second and third place, but it was a brilliant run all round. Segei, he performed well too, ended up in 4th place, and then the Kenyans came in, and I think there were 3 Kenyans through which will have taken the team title. But this, the conditions, it was cool, just a slight breeze as you can see. Fairly high cloud, conditions pretty good, and the course proved to be fast. It had lots of tight turns, but that did not slow them down, particularly the women. That was a tactical run by Tadesse in the early stages, coming through very, very strongly, and what a run by Dathan Ritzenheim. Personal best, 60 minutes. Just have a look at the final stages once again. It was a 4th successive victory for Zezene Tadesse of Eritrea. 59.35, a championship record. A bit of athletics history there. Kipyego of Kenya in second, and Dathan Ritzenheim of the United States in personal best in third. Well, a second team win for the Kenyans, the Kenyan men, 3:01.06. Eritrea in second place, Ethiopia in third. The United States, look how close they were to being on the rostrum as far as the team was concerned.
Representing Kenya, Mary Keitany.
Mary Keitany with a Kenyan record, just missing the world best time. It's a championship record, of course, 66 minutes 36. Remember, at one stage, inside 65 minutes, which was quite astonishing.
Thanks to Alberto Salazar for making that presentation, and congratulations to all 3 sets of medalists.
Just confirm the standings there. Kenya, Ethiopia and Russia.
For the 4th time in a row, in a new championship record of 59.35 for Eritrea, Zersenay Tadesse.
59.35, championship record, Zersenay Tadesse. You heard the announcement in the background, 4th consecutive win. No one's ever done that before, neither male nor female. But this man is class. Well, I make that their 11th win in the team competition in these championships over the years. This the 18th running of the World Half Marathon Championship. There you've got it, Kenya, Eritrea and Ethiopia. From Mark Butler and Stuart Story, goodbye.